Hi there. So in this video we're going to see how to create a class in PHP 7. So first thing, I want you to create example.php file in your text editor and store it in htdocs, and then that directory will run our file. Okay, so your address will be something like 127.0.0.1 and then name of your file. Now let's start with our class creation. First thing, we will make our PHP declaration, then we will use class keyword and then create our class name. Inside this we will simply create one public variable. Let's name it option. So $option equals to yes. Now that we have created our class, next thing to do is create instance of our class. So we will create one object with $object sign, then call for our class using new keyword. This will create instance of our class. So when we call for new demo, this will create instance of class, and that will be from our object $object notation here. As you can see, that will store any instance of our class demo. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to echo whatever is within our class. So we'll use echo and then object and then point to our option. So we'll simply use option and then that's it. Okay, now when I run this, it should print yes. Okay, so let's see how it works. And as you can see on browser, it says yes. So it practically accessed our class and then got this public variable and then printed out with echo. Okay, so what we did, we created a class using class keyword, then created a public variable inside that class, and then used object to create a new instance of our class named demo. After that, we echoed our object to access this particular option. Okay, now similarly we can also create function inside our class. So we can do that. So we will simply type public function. So any function that we create starts with keyword function, and let's name it test. Okay, now inside this we will just echo hello test. Okay, now if I want to access this test function, then I will use one more echo statement, and here I will, instead of options, I will call for test. Okay, so we will just call test and see how it works. Now go to your browser and reload the instance here, and as you can see, it returns with hello test message. Okay, so what we have seen so far is creating a class, then accessing a public variable, then we checked how to create a public function, and then checked how to access that public function as well. Now we can see how to call one function from another. Okay, so what we will do is we will create two more functions. Let's name them public function test1, and inside that I'm gonna just put this message of test and make it test1. Also we will call for public function test2, and then we will also paste the similar message of hello test 2. Okay, so we have these test1 test2 functions, and I want to call them from this variable. So we will use $sign this and then point to our new function here. So let's point to test1 and then this test2. So this is basically the current instance within our function. That instance calls for other two functions within our class. That is possible if the functions that are public to another. Okay, so we can only do that from our public class. Okay, so next thing we are going to call here is this test function. Now let's run this to find out how our one function calls another. Okay, so as you can see, it checks for first function here with test and then test2. Okay, so we have our test1 and test2 executed by making call from our function named test. So what we have seen so far is how to create a function, how to access public variable, then how to access public function in a class, and then how to access one function from another function within our class.